Hello and welcome to the RedFlex. We're back again. Morning after the night before, where Manchester United have absolutely scraped over the line against West Ham United. It's indicative of the type of football we've been playing recently. I don't know, Harris. I don't know what to say. I don't know whether it's a mix of injuries, the fact that we're just playing poor in general. Maybe West Ham initially didn't come to play. Where is... Obviously 3 points, yeah, but where's the blame? I'm still going to say it, man. Where's the blame?
Difficult, isn't it? I mean, we've got players out, players were injured, so we didn't really have much options going, forward. We didn't have Martial, Cavani, Donny van de Beek, even though he's not played. Mata probably would have played, the last couple of months he would have played a few games here and there. It's just having to play who he's got. We have to take into account they played a lot of games. It's literally the same team every 3 days. Yeah, I mean, it is scraping by, just by getting the job done. Beat City, got a draw against Milan, and we've beaten West Ham. Probably would have taken that start of the week, to be fair. So, we've got 2 more games. If we can get through these, then I think it's been a good few weeks.
Out of the 2 that are upcoming, if you could only win one?
Difficult question, Difficult question. You could only win one. I would go for FA Cup.
Yeah? Do you think that we've got a better chance of winning the FA Cup? Is that why?
No, I just think number of games, isn't it? Just one more game, and then that's it. Whereas the Europa League, it's like 4 more if we get to the final. So it's just too many ifs, buts, maybes. Are we going to concentrate on finishing second, concentrate on the FA Cup? Can we juggle all 3? I don't think we can. Going into the final stage of the season.
Before we break down, obviously, the game, I think one of the bright sides, obviously the 3 points, is the fact that I think there is a little bit of daylight now between us and being outside of the top 4. I think it's West Ham who've got a game in hand. I think they'll be playing that midweek now against Arsenal.
9 points, isn't it? The gap.
They've got a game in hand, yeah. Yeah, 9. So potentially 6. So if the next week's fixtures, if they obviously lose that game to Arsenal, then there's a 9-point gap. And even despite our poor form, you would probably think that if that was the case with 6 or 7 games to go, that our top 4 is pretty much secured. Whether you want to think of it as a top 4 race or whether you're, I only want second or nothing, that's a different story. But maybe if the top 4 seems a little bit secure, then maybe Ollie can kind of prioritize the cup competitions. Do you think that should be the case? Or do you think there's still work to do?
I just think you just get slated, won't it? If you finish 3rd or 4th, they'll be like, oh, well, they finished that last year, that progress, everyone's going to harp on about it. So, I've said it a couple of months ago, the league is where you get judged, so you need to make sure that's second, you need to secure that. So, yeah, I would put all the eggs in that basket, even though, the league's gone. I'd still rather us get a comfortable second and maybe drop out one of the cups than end up finishing 4th and I don't know. For me, it's,
I know that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to give you there. Second and no trophies, or 4th and a cup in the bag.
Obviously, take a cup in the bag, wouldn't you? You'd have to.
I think you've answered the question, but I think you've answered the question there, what you want to do. But anyway, let's get back to the game from yesterday. I think for me, again, a turgid affair it was. It wasn't really worth the watch, really. I was sat there watching it. Didn't really grab my attention in any way, shape or form. Yeah, the injuries, we didn't have anyone up front to do anything. I think Rashford was rushed back. Could tell he was not 100%. But then again, he's not really been 100% for most of the season. But I was worried about his fitness at the end of the game. I was worried about the fitness of Bruno at the end of the game as well. Did you see any highlights? Did you see anything, standout performances?
Yeah, there were a few. Maguire, Shaw, Greenwood, but they played really well. Shaw, obviously, again, very consistent. He's kept that going over the last well, 4 or 5 months, hasn't it? It's been really good. Greenwood's, coming in, even though he's not scored, he's coming into the fore. He did some good play, that cross for Rashford, which made that hash of, didn't he? So, and then he had that chance, which amazing save by Fabianski, then the one at the end as well, but he hit the post. So I was a bit unlucky with that. So he could have had a goal, and he, would have topped off a really good performance. So for me, yeah, there were some positives. I just think at home, this is the pattern now. Regardless of who we play, this is how it's going to be. Low blocks from whether it's a bottom team, whether it's one of the top 6 teams. They all seem to play this way now, and we're just going to find it hard to break them down, which ends up being a really rubbish game.
Issue I've got is, the low block, we can't break it down. But then when we went a goal up, and in the second half, West Ham actually came to play, we looked poor. So which one is it? Is it because are we not good enough to break someone down, or if someone has a go at us, we're crap as well? So if you look at it in both senses, it's not looking very good at all.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that. Obviously, you can't go full 90 minutes without the opposition having some sort of spell, some sort of pressure. I mean, we were up until that point.
It was like the first time they come out to play, they put us on the back foot straight away. That's my issue. They're going to have spells in the game, but the most of the game they were doing nothing, and then the moment that they actually step forward, we panic. And we're looking all over the shop.
I mean, you could say that. I mean, but did they create a big chance? I don't remember like Henderson making a save. I know you can have pressure, you can have all that, but for me, you're under the cosh when you start giving these chances away, which they didn't. So, yeah, you can say that. I mean, you can see it that way where, obviously they brought the attacking players on and we were a bit under pressure. They had a bit more of the ball, but for me, they didn't really create much. So,
neither did we. Other than the few chances that you said regarding Greenwood, the Rashford header,
Bruno had a shot.
Greenwood
Bruno had a shot, remember? Bruno had a shot, 20 yards, 25 yards.
Yeah.
Could have gone in.
For Man United, it's not really enough, is it, when you're just picking out little moments?
Yeah, I mean, look, West Ham have been playing good this year, They're fifth for a reason. It's not as if we're playing like a bottom-half team. The last time we played one of them at home was Newcastle and we just dispatched them 3-1. So, plus, we have got players out, forward play, so, he doesn't have the option to kind of mix it up as well. So, there's factors involved. Yes, the performance wasn't great. Could have been better, should have been better, but, not taking into account the week we've had, the number of games, injuries, all that kind of stuff, I think, a win's a win.
Yeah, I agree. So looking forward to AC Milan. Obviously, I don't know. Obviously, we'll find out in with Ollie's press conference, which I'm sure you'll be covering for us, about the injury status of the players. I think we've been given some updates regarding Pogba, Martial after the game, didn't we? They said that the potential. Cavani's potentially back. Martial potentially back.
Donny van de Beek. David De Gea, I think you mentioned Mata. I think he might have mentioned. I think it was.
Okay.
Pogba. Did he mention Pogba? What did he say about Pogba? We said Pogba potentially. If not, I think probably will play against Leicester. I think against Milan we will need those players definitely because number one, I think the players who we need a goal. So he needs to try and put out his best team ideally. So let's see where that kind of ends up. For me, the interesting one is the whole David De Gea Henderson situation. David De Gea can train as of today because I think he had a 5-day quarantine, came back on Tuesday, so he had to quarantine up until Sunday. He can train, so he would be eligible to play. But is he gonna stick to Henderson? Kind of go down the line. He's a cup keeper anyway, or does he want to bring David De Gea back in? It'd be interesting. It's two competitions. Can't really afford a mistake. From one of the keepers. So for me, that's really interesting. If he sticks with Henderson, I don't know. Is that him saying Henderson's keeping the shirt until he makes a mistake? Because obviously, if David De Gea comes back in, then we know it's all back to normal. He's number one. As soon as he's fit, available, he comes back in. So for me, that's the big one for Thursday.
Yeah, true. But if he's the cup keeper, I'd probably give him the next 2 games then. Anyway, I know that the Leicester game's a big game, but I don't think Henderson's done anything to deserve to be taken off, the shirt off him. Also, his distribution has been highlighted in the past couple of games as well. I think yesterday there was a great bit of distribution which almost led to a goal, and obviously the one from the other week as well, which did actually lead to a goal. So yeah, a lot of questions. I think what happens on Thursday is largely going to be dependent on who plays. So if we have enough of our match-winning type players back, then I think we'll do well. If not, we'll struggle. But like I said, we'll leave the full discussions for the preview show. In summary, like I said, did you have a man of the match yesterday?
I'm going with either Shaw or Greenwood, even though he didn't score. But I'm going to say Greenwood. I'm going with him. It was excellent hold-up play, link-up, did good things. When he needed to kind of make space, get a shot away, he did it. Should have scored, unlucky. So yeah, Greenwood for me.
I'll probably go with Shaw. It was steady, nothing fantastic. But then again, I didn't really get anything from anyone in yesterday's game. But yeah. Shaw was steady. He had a good bit of on the ball. He was quite good yesterday. He was getting out of tight spaces. There's a couple of clips of him on social media doing the rounds.
I've seen them. Yeah.
So you got to give him credit for that. It's not something that we associate with any of our defenders. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'll probably give it to Shaw. Yeah. But again, nothing fantastic, nothing to write home about once again from Manchester United, but a crucial 3 points in the race for the top four. Some outlets out there saying that, we potentially could have secured it with a potential 9-point buffer to being outside of the top. But anyway, there's still a lot of games to go. Hopefully we see some improvement. Pogba potentially being the biggest one. But we'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's the first time you're watching the RedFlex, make sure you subscribe and like the stream before you go. And we're also available on Twitter and Instagram, where we've got lots of content for you to interact with. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.